Hi, how's it in the name of Christ? How you doing? It's your girl Cake Karabo. I hope you're good. I hope you're peachy. I hope you're stellar. And I hope you're in a neat little bunch. If you're not, welcome to the parties. That's just not the story of our lives. Anyway, so today is the 14th of October 2024. And it's really quite the taxing day. But anyway, whatever we live, we deal. I'm doing an interlude, yet another one. I apologize for my white cast sunscreen. I am sorry for my creased shirt. Everything that's just out of whack right now. Hardy. But by the time we are done here, you are not gonna care what's going on. I can't wait until this thing fades. But anyway. Okay, so today's topic, message. I just say that this is an interlude, right? So there's not going to be much editing, no taking out of silences, and it's work in between work because I'm busy exporting a whole chunk of my content off Timebolt, and it's taking forever and a day. So I'm going to be doing interludes for the next coming days only. Maybe even a whole week, I don't know, but we'll see. Okay. So the topic today is little closet homosexuals all up in my grill and the creepy chicks married to them. We're gonna chat, yo. We're gonna have a discussion. We're just gonna have a conversation. And this conversation, of course, as usual, I'm going to get harassed by demonic attack. I'm going to get lambasted by death spells, suicide spells. I'm going to get lambasted by envy spells. Basically, doing everything in your power to disprove what I'm saying. And I did say that this is going to keep happening all the way up until we go home in the rapture. People are going to try and disprove my prophecies, what I say, by simply trying to kill me. Like, they imagine that if I go in the ground, maybe this will give. Okay, this is what's good, alright? We're living, this is 2024. Those of you that are unaware of what time it is, it's 2024. We are in November of that 2024. Sorry, October. And things are just gonna get worse and worse from here. I don't know how long it's gonna take, but I did let you guys know that I'm gonna end you. Okay, literally, this is a cockpit. We're in a fight, and it's a fight to the death. It is no longer a diplomatic fight. People are gonna get out of this in caskets. Nobody exits this fight unless one person is standing while the other is dead. This is how it is. It's unfortunate that that's how it is, but you've declared that kind of war on me, so I am just responding. I am just reacting. I want you to understand that we're at the end of the world. People underestimate what I'm saying. Even God himself calls me doubtful. He calls me Thomas because I give prophecy and then I don't believe it. I think that there's still time left here, like lots of it. And so I pine, I mope. I'm in a lot of sorrow because, this life, I can't live like this. Indeed, no one can live like this. You don't just get barraged by, like, a slew of insults. Just all of these what is this, like, that bird. All of these missiles, a barrage, an attack, a slew, a litany of bombs just coming into your camp, and you be cool. There's a reason why the Lord has allowed this level of bombardment of my person. It's because we're at the end. Pretty much at the end. When you are just throwing cannonballs into my camp, I mean, at some point, one of them is going to hit me to extinction. I don't deny that if this thing stretched out another however long, I would probably end up in the grave. I would. But you see, I'm not going to end up in the grave. I'm going to end up in the sky. I'm going to end up in heaven. But y'all are going to end up in the grave. And I'm just here to discuss basically topics arranging an argument around why you should believe me. And so repent, those 5 of you that will. Instead of carry on with afflicting me, you look at my statistics and you think that it's only a matter of time. You think that the days, like I keep hearing Celine Dion's song on a loop in my mind. It's all coming back to me now. There were moments of gold and then there were flashes of light. There were things I'd never do again, but then it always seemed alright. Okay. Basically, I see you, but you were history at the slamming of the door. Essentially, I've slammed my door on all of you, but the unfortunate thing about it is you think that if you can just, by attrition, exquisitely harass me sufficiently enough, that I will eventually turn around and basically accommodate whatever disgusting thing that you all are, because nobody is able to be maintained in this level of what you call stubbornness and suffering without eventually just giving themselves relief. If you don't want to die, Karabo, you're going to take what we offer you. Yeah, look, I absolutely 100% do not deny that something would eventually give that is really horrific where I am concerned if this thing did not get cut short. That thing that would give would certainly not be accommodating some filthy man or kissing the behind of some filthy women, like just some whack females. It'll never happen. Literally, I am too proud. I will say that over and over. I am too proud to accommodate any of y'all creeps. So therefore, this would probably result more than anything if this thing was just continued and lingered indefinitely into suicide. I would die first. What I'm trying to explain is that I would die first before any of y'all would get anything out of me. Because I hate you. Yeah. Now that we have put that out there, allow me to also put this out there, that Jesus Christ is not going to let me commit suicide. He's going to give me strength, renew me all the way up until the date of the rapture. But he is aware that I am not invincible. I don't have mutant powers to just keep healing and healing. I will get flattened like a flat bread on the floor until I'm out like a light. And it will be at that juncture of essentially facing outing like a light that boom, we're in the sky. Don't know when that is, next month, next week, next year. But I will be given strength until that very date. Because over literally my dead body, because I would die first, yes, before any disgusting thing that you all are would ever be accommodated by me. It's not happening. But I want you to understand ukuthi kwenzakaleni la emgaqweni. Well, what happened to bring you to this juncture, to this crazy point of no return? Allow me to communicate it to you, just like my creased shirt, lozwa moli tutsubani, and then you're going to go back to the drawing board of your occult magic and try and try and try. We're just going to be at this impasse, literally, exquisitely, exactly in the center of this impasse until I'm out of the way and you are finished. I am going to finish you. Do you understand? Single-handedly, the dark circles on my eyes and all manner and kinds of fatigue evidences on my face. I will finish you. I am Achilles. At this particular point, I have a heel. It is not a lie. True story. There is a weakness I have that can knock me out, but at the end of the day, Achilles is Achilles is Achilles. Achilles is Achilles is Achilles. He has a weakness. It's his heel. If you strike him there, he dies. But Achilles is the strongest guy around. He is the strongest guy around. He knocks everybody dead. And the person that finds out his secret is the only one that can kill him. I'm Samson. I am strong. There is something, however, that can make me weak, cutting my hair. I don't deny that. I am Herculean in my strength. I am not invincible, but I am stronger than all of you. All of you. Not most, all. I am stronger than all of you. But there is a weakness. And the weakness that you are tapping into is my poverty, my impossible freaking life, the roughness of what it is that I'm experiencing on the daily, the impossibility to live like this, essentially, for like another 10 years. That's my heel. The Lord has compared me to Brad Pitt in the movie Troy. I don't know if you have seen the movie Troy. I mean, goodness gracious, the cinematic, glory of that movie is on another level. Like, this dude is so strong. Like his feats, like just the way that his strength is displayed in that movie, you will be gobsmacked, taken aback, shocked, and made to essentially be awry for a minute. He is so strong, but he dies in the end. Troy is ridiculously strong. I would implore you to go and watch that movie. He is ridiculously strong, but he does die. Okay, however, not before first lamp-basting some people. And the Lord has compared me to Troy. Essentially, he's evidence, he said, making it clear to me that my intention was never to make you invincible and to survive this just through and through and just going and going and going. Yeah, my intention was to make you stronger than all of them. However, for them to be aware of the fact that, like Achilles, you've got a heel. And having a heel, therefore, there is a possibility that you could be finished off. And I am going to hand them over to such a debased mind, such a reprobate mind, that they're going to be tapping into this weakness all the way up until they die. I'm going to take you out before, like Troy, you're on the ground. Like Achilles, you're dead. I am going to let them think that they can just push this another day put, like, what is this, a drawing post. Just push it out until you finally capitulate to that which is your Achilles heel. And like I said, if at all my heel was struck, I would die. I wouldn't, these are I would never ever like lie like a Nando's chicken underneath some huffing, puffing, grunting monster. Like, it'll never happen. And I will also never kiss the behind of some filthy woman. Like, in other words, some chiko kimungengang. Like, that'll never happen. So essentially, this here is a trial by ordeal, where all that can happen is for everybody in question here that is in a cockpit fighting, dies. One person, whoever is left standing, or whoever wins, does not win because they beat a person until they were unconscious. They win because they killed a person. And this here is not going to result in anything but the deaths of many of y'all. And I did tell you that some of y'all are going to lose children, and that's going to make you just stop rubbish. Do you understand what I'm saying? And it's going to be the most prized possessions of your children. So the daughter that you really dig, that plays the cello, that's the one that's lights out. You are going to be left with whatever lackluster child that tends to irritate the living daylights out of you. That's the kid that's going to be out here comforting you at the funeral of the kid that was a straight A student, all that jazz. I could go on. It's just going to be a cycle of crazy until either your kids are dead or you are dead or something. But I'm gonna knock enough of you out before the rapture happens for me to be believable by then. Some of the people that I have already made mention are gonna enter into the casket. My former best friend is going in a casket. One of my other girls from Wits going in a casket. My ex-boyfriend going in a casket. My cousin going in a casket. Like, there's a few people that I've been prophesying are gonna die, but others, and then there's the ones that I don't know, but that nonetheless are all up in my grill, like the guy in America going in a casket. The dude in America is going to commit suicide with a gun in his mouth. And I've been saying this over and over again. Uguti, you might think today that you're not going to kill yourself, but bugger, you are gonna kill yourself, because he's going to be put at the precipice, at the pretty much end of himself. You don't get to dabble around with so much, what do you call this thing, witchcraft, okay? And not have your demons so take you over that you become a puppet on their string. In the sense that even though you might have told yourself one day that, me, I'm strong, I will never kill myself, you will end your life. And that's how it happens with the dude in America. He gets so overwhelmed by his own demons that literally his hand cannot control itself, and he brings a gun to his mouth and shoots. And that's how he's leaving this earth. He's dying. Right? Ex-boyfriend, car accident. I've already made mention that there's another guy who also kills himself and what is this, with his body sort of kind of, under a trance or something in it, like some kind of a spell, like some dizzy spell that he is in demonically, where he is furiously invested in by all of his entities until he cannot have any control over his own faculties, and then he jumps off his own terrace, like a balcony at his mansion, the house where he stays, while his wife is in the background. He just jumps off to his demise. It's not even a very high structure. It's not tall up. It's not like a 30-story building where it is that ain't nobody out here trying to survive. It's a fall that any other random Rambo can survive it. Like maybe with a broken knee, a little bit of a dislocated shoulder when you land with a thump down there below, because it's not that high up. It's like, what, a good 2 stories, 3 tops. Like, it's his house, a mansion, and yet he falls to his demise because of how he's made to dive off that balcony. I believe he dives head first, and when he lands there with his head cracking his skull, breaking his medulla oblongata, and he is lights out. And he's going to do this with a glass of whiskey in his hands, drinking it on some leisurely day, wearing a gown, slippers. So I already made mention of this, wearing a gown, slippers, just walking around the house like nothing much really, like where you're just chill, like it's like a chill day, and then something's just going to take him over, and he is going to dive head first, like he's diving into a swimming pool, off his terrace, while his wife is looking at him and is like, yo, let's say his name is Sizwe, and then boo, Sizwe is down there on the floor, bleeding out, having committed suicide without being aware that that's what he is doing. That's how he's gonna die. The lackluster rando from South Africa, like some tycoon that is responsible for what's going on with my YouTube channel, that's how he dies. And I've been making mention of the fact that if y'all don't repent, that's how this is going to end for you, but you don't believe me. So I am going to perhaps create more business cases out here in these streets to help you repent so you don't lose your kids. Like, frankly, the ones that are about to lose Bana, oh goodness, every family has a freak that sends people to hell. That's actually what I want to talk about today, alongside this here discussion about closet homosexuals. Every family has got some psychopath that sends the whole damn family to hell. Hunale batu that are just so freaking ridiculous that they cause the eternal condemnation of their entire families, like immediate and extended. And we're going to discuss them because these are these closet homosexuals that are all up in my grill, alongside basadi ba teng ba tswileng matekwane. Like, sorcery begets sorcery, darkness begets darkness, crazy begets crazy. Essentially, people who wreak so much havoc in any ecosystem that everybody else just kind of follows suit, hey? Wonke umuntu is like the blind leading the blind. Everybody falls into this crazy because people are suckers for enjoyment of the earth. And when somebody has made your life a living nightmare, you will literally kiss their behind so your life is less chaotic. So wives are out here settling under the wrathful crazy of a psychopathic, twalified husband, or children losing any kind of morality at all because some lackluster parent is out here wreaking so much havoc in the lives of kids that they can't help but turn to witchcraft. There are, in every family, especially in the black community, in every family there's always the freak that sends yonke family to hell. And y'all are those things. You are the freaks that are sending manabalona kudi healing. So depressed because and then decides to kill herself or becomes just so evil that there's no way that she will ever turn her life to Christ because she's bitter that her daughter's now late. Yeah, there are these kinds of freaks in every family. In my family, there's a cousin and she's gonna die in a car accident. She has literally caused the whole freaking family to go to hell. Like, the whole family is going to hell because of this freak. And not just her, but some other guy cousin. But the dude cousin is not even as prolific as this chick. Like, wena ona obese wankudwa and oloya family kaofela o planta dintho tse tsherene kaofela everywhere, and not everybody Karabo in their family are just standing in the gap. If it was not for my prayers, I kid you not, my uncle would be dead, her sister would be dead, my mom would be died. I was the first human sacrifice attempt by this chick. Y'all, you don't understand. Hona le batho that are chilling in families that are nooses to that family. They are the gallows to that entire family. Plane crash in one fail sweep, killing one umuntu in the family that are going on holiday kaofela. They are so freaking destructive that the whole family can do nothing but hate God because of what Lencha Lena has done. And I'm out here about to have a discussion about that. Because these kinds of family members are all over the show. Mara yena ke sono ka yena extra, you know why? Because of nna. Ke phulusitswe nna. Everybody might have a little destructive psychopath, but not every family has got a very hard-knock, heavily praying, consecrated saint, right? The road is narrow that leads to life, and few they be that find it. So there are families that have absolutely zero hollow note Christians in them at all. They hawana kira lemzalwane one in the family. Manje makunjalo, shem kushubile, uncle yakho izoboda because this chick busy in a human sacrifice. Your child is going to get miscarried. Your 5 children from your womb, you're gonna miscarry guy 5 because she feels like that blood gotta be spilled. In families that are that destructive, but every so often in one, maybe out of every 500 families, there's a mzalwane. And if there is a mzalwane, yo hai shem. Ntwa etukang, enangdi chichiboya, etwang fur and steam. Ntwa eo, yadinda, that is going to irritate yonkinto lime katwen, is going to be feverish. Lankudra. And this spiritual war, ha itlo bonwa ke di domjane tse tsa go ba blind. Tse sa bonong gore di tshireletswe ke mzalwane o one standing in the gap advocating for them to the Lord Jesus Christ. Ha ba tlo bona, ha ba tlo mo, long story short, appreciate. They're gonna be unsung heroes in a family where ba busy ba ntse ba lwantsha tweba A1. Yeah. Abantu bakithabaza ukuthi imingcwabo engakhi have been prevented by me. Mina ngiyi-one as Karabo sizakele Hlongwane ke blomile pela lona sona jana. Ke ntse ke le busy ke recorda video ke futa ke tswa steam mo tlhogong. Ke le one single-handedly over the past 13 years since I got born again. I have prevented more death in the family than these people recognize. Nkebe go ntshitswe mesebetsi lankutla. Mesebetsi out here trying to talk to ancestors on some kupa, please stop the death happening in the family. All these dominoes that keep on dropping. Badlo zindin sisizeni badla, or we don't know. Urwetsa lang mara go a tlhokofalwa mo gae in a way that nontse go sa tlhokafalwe before. Like the Nelson Mandela family, you know how those kids be dropping like dominoes. Kante ke ntja ya teng e ba ibitsang Mandela ntse sacrifice bana. Yeah. Go sa itswa hore why go tlhokafala. Why are people passing away? Kantike outingana A1. Every family has got somebody that sends abantu eskhokweni in their numbers. Yeah. But Yesu would have experienced the trauma that slapped the Mandela family. Nje fela year after year, teenagers be out drowning in swimming pools. You don't know ukuthi uskipani. Abantwana are out getting gunned down at clubs. People are out getting into car accidents. People are out getting cancer diagnoses and passing away within 3 weeks of diagnosis. You ask yourself, why? And then you put down your ear to the ground. Grab a magnifying glass. scan your head in the periphery left and right and discover ukuthi kunomuntu othwele la hard knock, and he has signed ama-souls wabantu bakibo over to the devil, because that's how he's gaining his wealth, his might, his power. That's how he is maintaining it. And so manje umama makazolahlekelwa, azoshonelwa ngabantwana abayi-3 in a space of 5 years, lo muntu uzoba bitter. What is going to make her athandu somandla? She's going to blame that on God. Otlo blame Jesus on some unketse ngwana onang 17, and then 10 years later wankela my 27-year-old, and then ke tlo etsang? I ke na ditlogolo ka je kong ka nna ke ne ke le barren as a woman. Ingathi mingi azangaba nabantwana ngoba abama abantwana bashonile bavele nje babhoda one after the other. What kind of a God does that? I'm sorry, kuba lohlogele ngudimo alone. At this point, Samos Shabang Mandela in your families, Ambanyo Bugani, the little ritualists in your families that are out here putting people in the ground, causing infertility in women. Hey, you come from fertile burl type family, like your bloodline. You come from a family where one community is out here popping babies every second day. Yeah. The way holding fertile thing. And then there comes a 10-year dry gap, like a desert, Kalahari of fertility. Everybody is freaking infertile, or they keep on miscarrying, or there are complications in pregnancy, or worse off, abantwana bazalwa ngama disabilities, or whatever. We used to flourish like Smarties, box, what a lot I got of children. In the 80s, one to megameter every second day. And now that we're in the 2000s, every kid that was born from those wombs, abagwazi uba nabantwana, now that they are of age. Ngada se ba godile, se le di 20 something. 20 something e feletseng ka fela kan taking e ka ena sa gono tsa bana. Black people and popping babies. If anything, we've got an epidemic in the black community called baby mama drama epidemic. Everybody ought to be having babies, and yet there are some families where there are some black women, albeit us having a reputation for just popping them because we can, popping them like they're pills, popping them like they're Smarties. Now there's like an infertility issue throughout a span of 10 years in the family. Or every woman that's ever had a child in the family, first babe naba miscarriage, I4, and then only they were able to give birth to the 5th baby because their cousin decided to amiyekela ukutayoba nomntwana way 5. Like proper thinking ukuthi because they are God, they are Jesus. I can't they've made themselves the Lord. Yeah, they can decree when a woman's womb gets opened finally. They think that they can say to Sarah, now you're gonna be of child. Hey, they think they can say to Rachel, finally you're gonna have a baby. They think they can say to Hannah, okay, I'm gonna open your womb now. They've made themselves Jesus. So they open women's wombs, they decide so all these young men in the family are taking wives. Next thing, their wives either infertile or, like I said, 5 miscarriages before you finally carried a term. Yeah, that's what's good. Because of Satananyana evugile out of the woodworks in the family, and because of lomuntu lona akusashonwa la emgaqweni, akusashonwa la emgaqweni, wonke umuntu is wondering what's I thing. And I don't know about so that's your problem, right? Every time you got such issues all up in your grill, and to like with Lashiana, like with like Tabohangarle Casta Semenya, to Amasangoma Shem, you keep on running to these spiritists, these ritualists. The Bible says a kingdom divided cannot stand. Like that's what y'all need to understand. So like and then expect to see something is not gonna give over there. A wicked. So manja, when you run to Ama ancestors, instead of Jesus to basically correct the status quo in your families, you are causing wickedness that is going to inevitably cause all of y'all. Breathe your last. One after the other, like a whole family just like doomed to sink into the abyss. Every family has this kind of terrorist in it, and in my family it's a cousin of mine. Nebali too, one of them down, no such shit. I give him money that much. He was a guy, he is a guy. Yes, like a dog. Like Moto, she's sending her mom to hell, her dad, her sister. She is sending my whole family to hell. She's sending the extended Moto. The distraction of this rubbish of a woman is extending into the extended family. It's not just her immediate family. And because concentrated on because because they are made to go to war if there is a mzalwane in that family with that mzalwane. Etukang, ebilang, etletseng steam, les photo le moya o green. O tlile go jarateng ya go heso. He bathong sisters ona se go loya o swaka o monyane. Ha se ke ho loya mme wa ka, she is so freaking busy because she's making war numb. She's making war numb. She used to be my best friend. Of course she will make war with me because of the relationship we used to have, but also because Kim Salwan. So if you are a Christian and you've got a family member that's out just sending Hlongwane, when you're fighting for their souls, you're standing in the gap. She's determined because she does not believe that there's any such place as this. So you will be severely harassed, ignored, lambasted, by the very people whose human sacrifice rituals you stood in the gap and successfully blocked. You quelched them. You are the person to circumvent all of these activities from coming to pass. Arrows, the bullet tsa Satan. Tse motho ntse le busy hookah chaka granting over some cauldron. Ko lififing. Morago a musi nje fela wa Satan. O busy batla bola ntatwa teng. Yeah, that's what's good. This little rubbish is going to cause yonke family ukuthi ignyats. Even though that saved the life of ntatwa teng o tletseng ka rubbish le nyoko. Ntatwa teng o busy o emang le ngwana teng wa Satan. Ona nke ba mmolaile ka 2020. Okay, 2019 already. Lo muntu ngaba dala wa border. 2019 he would already have been dead. 2019 that man was gonna die because his daughter was out doing a human sacrifice on him. No siswa khona ngabe dala. I'm going home. Ngebe khala rona ra attend lady funeral. Ngebe khala. Mara Karabo. Aseke o thola dinto. Aseke modimo mo jwetsa hore e bathong motho o bogile. O bizo batla o bola o so ha o batla o bola ntatwa teng. O batla nje fela tshwantsa lo sheda madi because ba mo demanda madi ko habo go occult organization. Yeah. And then Karabo ba rapela ntatwa teng ba phela. Mara still disrespect attitude. Still mistreatment. Still rubbish nonsense. Yeah, o tla treatwa like nonsense. Only the only one standing in the gap for an entire family wankutla. That's the plight that like we are unsung heroes. In our families, and in a country like South Africa where every second family has got a little terrorist, y'all don't know what we mean to you. Y'all literally have no clue. You have no idea what you are messing with. There's an ice pack behind my phone, and that's why it see it naga angle. So I hope re tlo ba right ha le tsebo re le dila ka eng ha le dila ka bazalwane. So nna ke borwa ke taba hore while I'm fighting this kind of mollo wa steam was photo wa gangrene, hey, and earthquake, like lomlilo wa hurricane that I am busy fighting. Ntwanyana hectic. Ke busy ke shebilwe ke dintja tse batlang go ntumpa ka le lamza tsa di closet homosexual. Wait, go irrelevant jwang? Like they are so freaking irrelevant. They are so irrelevant. They are so unimportant in the grander scheme of things. But they are expecting more ke lo ba sheba matlhong while I am trying to save my mom's life. Cause e bogile chiri ya cousin. While I'm trying to save my little sister's life. Because like I am out here trying to rescue abantu bagiti. And there's some idiot obatlang gong tsayela concentration. Anke tso ke mo buke se fatlhegong. Entse le closet homosexual. E file mosadi wa teng ngolaza mara wa busy going back to the drawing board. Antsa lawyer. Mara then again, yona toba ya teng empatlang kankane. Leo na ke that thing of family ya hae. Ko habo na ke ena o causing the miscarriage rate 20 ka jara 1. Ko habona ke ena o creating Nelson Mandela phenomenon ko habona where there's an accident last year kushone uPinky, the year before then kwashona umuzi, the year before then kwashona uThepiso, the year before then kwashona uJabu nomfazi wakhona in a car accident kwasurvive ama teenagers manje like these kids have been orphaned and Lenjale has been responsible for that. Amakata la pufinu Karabo. Yo dog, wait again, I need to use the bathroom. I'm pressed. Ke khutlile. Yeah, I'm nice and relieved now. Yes, I'm busy talking about how it is that in every family, huna le rabishinyana ene tshwantse re bue ka di rubbish tsena ne di rubbish tsa ko di family tse ding patla high and low. While ke bambilo ka di washing to a point of ukshwabana kangaka. Yeah. Ke terrorist ya ko heso. Le nna ke na le terrorist. Mamelang dinjane le tsubile matakwane kaofela. Ke tlhaloganya. I understand how you are high on the supply of Satan and it's very hard to let it go because kumnandi ukuthola izinto zamahala noma it comes at the expense of igazi labantu bakini. But comprehend ukuthi nami ngina isatanist yakithi engidila ngayo. And for you, all of you stupid men, to ukungizama despite being the bane of what is my present existence, like hona le satanist ko heso. Ekidila nka yona nka re kituka mollo. Ebe le tlo batla hore ke tlo nyala engwe hore tlo fitla. One is enough. Una le one etu kaofelo. Ba bangata batho go eso ba leng busy ka ditlharne. But ha ona motho o excellang cherry o hectic and o belong to a cult. And o ntse batla go tsholla madi go heso. If I am having to stand in the gap and say ke lwana ke gura. le satananyana e ya ko heso. What makes you think gore I can le energy o dila ka ntwa engwe grandship e go balang next to me busiu e batlang go nketsa Nando's chicken e batlang go nketsa gore ke itebale ke bele ke lo go bala le ntja grandship e ratang le banna etle. Can we just have a discussion? I've got enough of my own battles. So this is what's good. Because of ntwa e tukang mollo eling very heavy and hard knock and intense, modimo o fokotsa how many idiots I'm fighting on the daily. So cousin yo tsamai, she's dying in a car accident ko pela Rosebank e gale ke she's like two tilis. But so too are some of y'all. Le bolaisa batho bako mahalona. And some of y'all ukshona kwa bantu begibe babenu. Grandship is not even the work of Usatane but God. Because the Lord is now taking away abantu to distract you from umzalwane. Because right now you are too happy to leave me alone. Like let's dodla, le jama kunya every day. So la nona. And granted that inona kapsunga nje na. And kwazi ukungiyekela ngoba uzongiyekela nini when you are still okay. Ontlogela ning tatwa ngwana wanza le busy. Are daddy look I got 85% on a maths test. Lo ontlogela ning. Bana ba lona ba fitla ko gae ba tshwere di trophy tse 10 from awards ceremony ya ko msebe ya ko sekolong for athletics. Lo ntlogela ning when your colleagues are busy congratulating you for a project well delivered. When are you going to leave me alone when life is still good? So tshwantse le lo distract lo ntshwatseleng ke bereavement. So some of y'all are going to cause the deaths of your relatives just for the sake of getting you out of our hair. I told you that this thing is going to result in either mafu aditweba self bona di satanists then or batho ba ko habona, so God can deal with them given that they have taken the apple of his eye and wrestled it abo Karabo. So God is going to take the apple of your eye to make you understand ukuthi grandship God ufila kanjani. And even then at a small little fraction about indaba yokuthi you keep on trying to kill abantwana bakhe. You keep on trying to marry his daughters. Let's seriana man. Let's not next to do with Jesus Christ. Mara le batla di chicken tsa modimo. Le batla di pastor's kid. Mara se ke o lawyer. Yar. So modimo o lenthatseleng either by ho le bolaya or lo bolaya bana ke tshilo. Ka that thing is coming. Mara nna ke na le ntwa already. Eng borang mo sighting. Mo family. Ha re batlong tlogela lona ntwa ena ke lo protecta batho ba ko heso, especially uswa ko bathong chere busy ka uswa ko monyane nna ke tsebo go kiketseng. I don't know what to do. She's busy with my little sister and I'm just like as in o tlo tlhokafala nja. I am fighting my own spiritual war mo strateng. Janong onzoli busy onzola takadi washing in my little there's a lot of things that she's trying to use my little sister concerning. For a while onzali busy ka yena. O batla go mo sebedisa to get to me bathong, and I'm like I kena nako ya hao, I kena nako ya lo compete le ngwana wa Gen Z first and foremost, and secondly ntwa ka ikima e bokete I kena nako ya concentrate on ngwana no go etsang what that kid is doing with her life. Esa rateng modimo wang bore herself my little sister o busy kanto tsesnasile na self, so angina skhatisa akhe nje kuphela she must just stay alive and maybe one day o tla repenta whatever, okay? But when I have to keep on standing in the gap to prevent ditlhare tsa chere tsutsubaneng from working in the life of my little sister, I'm just like, okay, fine. Ke tla lwana battle e ya mo jarateng cause ke batho ba ko heso. Mara o ska tlong bora sizwe tuwe o re themba o re jabu. Twebanyana ya gore bala le banna mara sentse no batla di cherry cause o so le bisexual thanks to the occult having made you a satanist. E ratang di outie. O ska tlong bora. O zame. Why? Because u feel ngare ke chaza ke fascinating. And so you eventually going to get what you want because you have a thorough comprehension and a right one at that I'm Achilles. Get strong. Yes, I'm Herculean. Can I leave my something with it's a hectic, it's a hard knock. But at the end of the day, Achilles gotta heal. Hey, Superman has kryptonite. Supergirl has kryptonite. Y'all know I got kryptonite. Y'all know I gotta heal as Achilles. Y'all know that like the Incredible Hulk, it takes something to make me big and green. When I list something that is what is my weakness as a superhero, if you wanna call me that. So Jaka khale khona ho kraya my heel as Achilles, the thing that ultimately ends me. The Jaka khale khona ho kraya miriri yaka as Samson, the thing that you can cut. Le concentrate on D thing. Yo ha. Nna ke tlo le tlhalosetsa hore the root causes tsa rubbish tsa lona hore ke di eng, ne? Every family o bolaisa batho ba ko ha bona aba ise di healing. Every family ona le motho jwalo. Every family has got a person like that. Not every, okay, every is a very strong word, but there are a lot, especially most South Africa. South Africa's like Haiti. Like, I don't even know, it's like Haiti. That's why ni grand ni sharp. I like tata. In comparison to the rest of Africa, li rubbish grand sharp mara the way li filanga le important thing. Nizi kaya nyong on rubbish. This. You are no different from Haiti, South Africa. You are 5 seconds away from being like Haiti. The Lord has shown me that South Africa is going to end up a failed state like Haiti. The way you want hana motho sa loeng mo strateng ka ofela le nyandisa e singkwen hana ntho ele sa yetseng e sa tswang tseleng la lawyer ene le lawyer blapa ko mahareng ko mantlo a bomme ba lona le lawyer bo us ba lona bo abut ba lona bo khazi bo ntate bo mme ke re le katse ya ko heno la lawyer hana ntho le sa loeng le busy. In a country like that, where you keep on bewitching your into left and right, up and down, it's going to become a failed state. If everybody is dealing with blockages, it's going to ransack, bludgeon to death the economy. You are going to take away reasonable and rational people from society, and if all that is running the country are freaking demon-possessed idiots, it's only a matter of time before the devil basically is the one that's telling what under heaven needs to happen next to with like international policy, foreign policy, with fiscal policy. The devil is going to be the one that is whispering into the ear of these leaders in the country. Do you understand what I'm saying? He's going to be the one basically charting the course of an entire country. I like to call the witchcraft epidemic in this country literally a state capture. It's like a freaking state capture. It's like a hostile takeover. It's like the Taliban out here taking over Afghanistan after Joe Biden pulls out. Freaks that don't know anything about international policy, basically government. Yeah, yet nonetheless they've got AK-47s and they can intimidate Wonkumuntu, taking girls out of universities, going right back to the history that Afghanistan was suffering from. And then of course there is the starvation of people on the ground, just a whole bunch of hunger because these lackluster randos that have never been trained a day in their life to be kings now have made themselves kings. When you go and you grab a poverty-stricken person and you make them a king, according to the scriptures, the earth cannot bear up under that. The earth cannot bear up under a poor person that replaces his master. That's what's good. So when umuntu ongafundanga how to run a country, then suddenly takes on the reins as the president. Tigray region of Ethiopia. We are dealing with a state capture. We are dealing with a situation where it is that literally gangsters are running the government. We are dealing with what is called a crime state. And South Africa is exactly just that, a crime state. Because that is not supposed to be running the country. Because they don't get instruction from Jesus Christ. They get instruction from Satan. And every so often he takes them over so much that abakwazi decisions are rational, are sober, visibly so, evidently sober. They can't make decisions that are obviously the right ones. They keep on making weird decisions, and we must all just take it in our stride. Manja, with that kind of a state capture, 5 seconds away from being as failed a state, evidently so, as Haiti is a failed state. If failed state, the bricks get brought down, until ultimately you get to the foundation and you ransack an entire country. So our nation is being run by labo psychopath. Our country is being run by occult practitioners, sorcerers, magicians. And like I said, 5 seconds, you literally just a mere decade, maybe 2 decades at most. But we're not going to get there because the rapture is happening. Yeah, of ending up just like Haiti. A country of people that can't, like, they're so demon-possessed as a nation that their intelligence is substandard in comparison to most countries in the world, especially the geographical location encircling it. But basic mathematics, 1 + 1 = 2. They can't grasp basic stuff like that because when Satan is running the show, he will confound the speech in a country until you are unable to maintain basic decency as a land. Eventually in the long-term consequences, the ramifications are dire, but unfortunately it takes very many years to ultimately have a sharp decline in the health of a nation on the curve, because in the run-up to all the works that can bring down an entire structure were already in play, but it took a while before the whole building came down. Took a while. But when the building comes down, it comes down too late, and it's in one fell sweep. But all the evidences of a nation dying were already being wrestled on the rooftop by sober minds, however largely ignored. So Nina, that are the terrorists in your family, you essentially are now also what would be the equivalent of terrorists in the country. You are literally like the freaking Taliban. Not only that, you are Hamas out here breaking into the kibbutz and taking some children and killing them, putting them in ovens and switching them on, raping women, killing people until they're unrecognizable. You are terrorists that are wreaking havoc, however, having put yourselves in positions of leadership in the land that you are in. Hamas is the bane of Gaza's existence, and yet nonetheless, it is in leadership. That is the problem when crazy people are running the country. Wonke umuntu is at their mercy. It is written in God's word that a righteous person, when they're in power, the people on the ground rejoice. But when a wicked man takes the reins over, they reel, they mourn, they complain. Manje maseni tshwere ke tlala nonke because president enu ayinfepi because focus nje on his meaty. When your president is freaking Pharaoh of Joseph out here letting his country be laid waste, destitute, desolated by the plagues of God, the people will of course reel. Okay, I have no doubt even in the slightest that the people in Egypt could not stand Pharaoh wakhona. Kodwa when your president akazingeni indaba zokuthi you've got 3 days of darkness, locusts, animals are dying, the river Nile is being turned into blood, like you proper like I want to esa because of policy decisions being made by their king that are antagonistic to the wealth, the benefit of the nation in totality. You will sit out plagues while your president keeps on making satanic decisions, because when Moses and Aaron out here create a snake out of their stuff, he rocks up and consults sorcerers and magicians to make snakes out of their own stuffs, only for Moses' snake to eat the snakes of Pharaoh, but still that's not enough to make him repent. Umuntu that's going to cause the death of the firstborn children of wonke abantu base eGibhita ngoba akazingeni indaba zokuyekela abantwana bakaGod. I mean, by the time God was done in Egypt, that place was desolate. They had to start from scratch. They stopped being a power nation like what it is that they used to be. That's what's good, because this dude was so stubborn. His heart was so hardened, handed over, the heart of which was hardened even by God himself. That's what's good, that all of Egypt reeled essentially. The king was evil, and so the people on the ground were mourning. So much so were they mourning that by the time the people of God were let go, the Egyptians gave them their gold, they gave them their jewels, just to say, whatever it is that your God done did to us, please don't carry on. To appease the wrath of the God of the Hebrews, the Egyptians gave their wealth essentially to the Hebrews. They gave their wealth to the Hebrews just to basically to get their God to stay their hands from all this wrath. South Africa, you little lackluster leaders of your family, your cults, your covens, your dinjanganatse that are destroying the country that however you are standing for. Yeah, they're gonna cause frogs, locusts, animals dying. They're gonna cause 3 days of darkness. They're going to cause so much destruction in your country, and by the time Lefeza, you won't even have an army or even a pharaoh. But you will have latched on to God's people because you did not stand up against Satan, because you were little scaredy cats. You were shaking in your pantyhose over amadota that are little girls. They're effeminate. Bahie. Kiboso music of That's what's good. That can't really run a country because they've lost the patriotic panache. That's what's good. Impa. Are you not kissing their behind? You are scared that the same bombs that they dropped in Karabo's camp, they're gonna drop in yours. So you are literally their sycophants. You are their sycophants. You're kissing behind of the Taliban while they're ripping your children, your daughters out of school. That's what you're doing. I mean, really, when you end up as Haiti, you chose your country, Shem. This failed state that is a crime state at present, by being complacent. You think you can stand around gathering dust, doing nothing about your country's falling apart, only because we're not today unalim sibits. Only because we're not today bana ba shapo Hashem Haiti bana ba teng ha ba khone ho bala basic algebra la nkutla, because ke a dumb nation. It's literally a dumb nation, literally. And this is not to be to use, what do you call this, like to what's the word that I am looking for, embellish igama labantu. It is not to diss or to mock or to manufacture some kind of teasy terminology against a people, but like their IQ is below a certain level as a nation in totality. Money business you get dumbed down. Hello, basic things. Of course, long data, because when you start to become dumbed down as a nation in totality, the very exceptionally intelligent become intimidating to you. They gotta leave. When people are still sober, until all that's left is Serikisian. So keep your little circus. While there are closet homosexuals, bafuna abocheri, because I need to they've been taking it anyway. They've been taking it even anyway. They are the banes of their own family's existence. And now they want to come and be the bane in mine. So essentially, into families of basadi, whose families they're going to ransack. So ninabo taken chicken lazy. Hashem. I don't get it. You know why? Because if fitlile ko heno ka malobola a kena a iketsa brother son-in-law a kere a baqala jwanong ho senya ko heno. So they are not only terrorists in their own families la bazalwe khona, they then become ama-terrorists anywhere where you will open umnyango for bona. So ningizondela indaba yokuthi ntshatsetse tshereyaneng that are closet homosexuals have destroyed ngithi nagini. Bafikile bazoba i-bomb blast gini, bazenza i-bomb zol gini, bazoenza ugogo wakho. Hi, by your human sacrifice owakusis, you've been married 2 years, and within the first 2 years of your marriage, you've already lost 3 aunties and 1 sibling. You don't know. You've made him in ninja agisho, like he was inja somewhere else, and then you meet him because ntandi mali yabo chirangish ngoba indoda yabonakala ukuthi uthwele lenja lena. Yeah, bese uyamchata. Next thing, 3 of your aunts are gone. Premature death. All of them in Jeffela, one heart attack, cancer, natural causes, and then your sibling passes away in a car accident. You think these are fortuitous events? But in literally just a space of 2 years. This is new. You've never had this level of death, but now that Onyeze sees way. Look how you all be dropping like dominoes. Now he's the bane of your family's existence, and then you expect me, even though I've already got one rubbish in my family. Do you understand? I've already got one big fat chunky rubbish at the wing. It's willing matekwan. Libatla hore ke tlo mema engwe ntsha. Ke tlo accommodate engwe. Ke tlo bring us sizwe o jabo sbusiso no. Ke grand. Ngisha mina nendoda ezo every so often lala namadota in a satanic ritual bese azofika zolala nam. I get lo fiwa na ngulaza. Top of that, ona le msadi omong o batla ho nketsa second wife. Waiting these guys and their plethora of issues. Mara ngisho bangbona since I'm Achilles, I've got to heal. I've got a weakness. But you see, this is what God has to say in the scriptures. In Matthew 24, if the Lord does not cut these days short, no flesh would be saved. God knows that we are not invincible, that we've got a finality to our strength, to our what you call invincibility. When I live finality to it, there is an end result to this strength we wear. And when we get to the end of that place, that's when we go. It is written in God's word that He will not suffer us to be tempted beyond what we are able. But when we are tempted, He will always give us a louvre of escape, a way out, that we may be able to bear up under it. I've been taking those louvers of escape, but God knows that the day's gonna arrive when even that louvre of escape is not doing anything for me because I'm that depressed. I'm that out of it. When I am 5 seconds away from grabbing a noose and hanging myself, that's when the rapture is gonna happen. I don't know when that day is coming, but for now, I will grace you with my dark circles. For now, I will grace you with my exhaustion, my fatigue, and my spiritual war fever, my effervescence for Jesus, and my irritation, my anger. I will come and grace you with the wrath that I spew in these videos. I will come and I will grace you with my reaction to your crazy. Do you understand what I'm saying? I will grace you with it. Until then, but understand that in the run-up to that particular date, go le fofora lona one by one, because you are not Achilles. You're just some soldier encircling Achilles. You are not Hercules, you are not Samson. You are just a Philistine. You are just some freak. You've got numbers, because that's how you tend to come up against abantu that have got inordinate strength by one. You tend to uguba rensek party, like a whole freaking circus of soldiers. You bring a battalion. When somebody has got Herculean strength, you're not gonna come we won and it's not gonna be a fair battle. It's gonna be like what happens in the movie The Matrix Matrix, that last one, man. Revolutions. Angansi. The last Matrix, Revelations, what in the world under heaven? Matrix, whatever, the last one. Where Agent Smith multiplies himself into so many of them that frankly Neo can't win. But then he wins, doesn't he? below the belt. You bring your plethora of battalion of satanic soldiers to this particular battle, and you come up against one person of which is not Jesus, so they're not omnipotent, but they are his servant. Therefore, they've got more strength than you. And so that's why. Little about to buy 20,000 revolutions. I think it's Matrix Revolutions. We get my point. You get my point, whatever. You will bring 20,000 soldiers against one soldier. And at some point, when you keep on adding numbers in your satanic little feverish mission, and it's again shame on you because that's also another thing that should make you feel really embarrassed and ashamed of yourself. Umfazi kodwa the way nifuna ukumbulala ngakhona evidence ukuthi grand sharp ngigqoka amapenti hala paratranka o di boxer shorts la pere di penti at this point le magusha la pere di kwaikwai dinja la icheka. That's what you limadi cherry. You are women because you are out here literally making war. Nomfazi oi one as a battalion of soldiers. You are coming against a woman. I won, we won, and like cherry, she's a woman. Umfazi lo muntu. The way shame. It says you've lost your manhood. Whatever's going on is no longer manhood. I don't think I need this ice pack anymore because now it's like busy falling apart, and the weather is sufficiently cool for me to not need this ice pack. But we'll see. Let's just carry on talking and see what goes down. But this ice pack strategy really does work because my phone doesn't overheat when I'm busy talking over here. Yeah. Nonsense, and you are attacking each one little woman, one little female, like one little girl. Do you understand? Chicken out here with a squeaky voice, making like a skinny Cinderella. Namlanda little wakan, libangata. And the way that they investing in death spells in a corner, your psychosis is so exquisite that I am bully. And some of y'all, if at all this kind of like violence against me were to ensue against somebody that you know in the office, a colleague, basically nashonile umyumtana, haseke go trend rubbish go Twitter, haseke go be the first ones to join bandwagon hashtag men are trash, hashtag I'm pro-feminism, labafaz laba abalimalayo ailezinja zibolile. You will be the first one to do a video, some little interview on TV ebodiling, talking about how these men need to get their act together, stop hitting women, stop hurting women, stop killing women, kanti wena ubusy ngama death rituals over women because of the fact that ngabasaban they are feverish and they are fighting your witchcraft. So when it comes to Karabo, it's okay. Mara, how you are among the people in the street to placard. Though among the people who strating in the fellow who walk up and down on the work at our banana body, the webabula basadi abatukagan, nabatukagan. The rabishuko hamahalo na religious everything like I just am strating, la bolai, and who is who bolai, la bolai. Ay, una little cause to this thing in. That's what I'm here to tell us right now. Nyoko ya lona ena le birthday ena le commencement era, and it has borne these kinds of fruits. You've become the banes of your family's existences. Why? Because you tend to have amassed for yourselves amandla, wealth, mali. You are strong, and people are sycophants of people who have money. How every so often on 5,000. Hi bani udilaka a younger sister o mo dropisitseng out of school. Utlo go rata. Ha ntse ka sa ya ntse ka le site la gagwe when she says that o batla go ba a musician. You're going to be the one person no mo supportang because I really like my life ngwana batho batla lo bina. Mara you're the one that made sure go drop out of university and so can't become a doctor. Akere kwen. Marabo ba ha batswadi ba ntse ba mo rasetsa. On some no mara you've always wanted to be a doctor since you were in grade 8. Now she wants to go and be a kwaito musician. You gonna tell the parents tlogela ngwana abe right a lo lora mara nele wena ona sa batlo ngwana lo graduate. Nele wena. You're the one that caused that disinterest in medicine in this kid. And while the parents are rightly raising issues in Dabeguti, since when did you ever want to become a kwaito musician? Top of that, you're not even that talented. And not artistically anyway. Khalole academic. No kwena uncle ontonzo mo supporta. So I mean really when you're the one person who supportang chere dropping out of school because of you. She's gonna think my uncle is really great. Okay? Because you know what you did, and then you rock up utagata abantu bagini, and you act as if though you are basically imasaya yabo bonke. You're the thing at Tusang. After you go and you ransack your sister's career, how kata holo ransack your abuti's relationship with his girl, Ke wena mo life ngo tlo mo comfortang. Ha cherry e lonyala some other dude. You gon' be the one that's on some sugar. She wasn't even all that dog. Nasa go tshwanela grand champ, you deserve better when you broke them up. So your brother be out here thinking, yo, my brother, yo, he got my back. He comforted me during a very hard time in my life. Can't think now causing this disaster. So they put themselves in a position to essentially rescue the days of what it is that they did to their family members. Bafitla batlo pampara, batlo comforta, batlo bear cushion is soft motlasa ezi ekatang trapiwa. That's what's good underneath their families. And then they make themselves abo favorite. Kanti yibo abo cause all this disaster. Yibo that caused all this disaster. Mochira khona izofika izocomfort umawakho at your funeral. Ilornele death spell ayenzeng utlo attend. Listen, the audacity of these ones by the death rituals. Uzo attend umncwabo khona. Utlo attend the funeral yatenye batho. And then utlo ba yena o rekang legacy. Utlo ba yena o rekang di biscuit. Utlo ba yena o thusang ka venue. Batho o patala everything. O patala di caterers. Ha qeta mo abaetsa speech se seng se telle ko memorial servicing ya hao. Cause everybody in these streets to cry. Kena o putang video together ya PowerPoint ya memoria motona e tlo causing everybody alla dikele di tsa boladu ko memorial servicing ya teng. Cause only designer the graphic designing skills. So o cause a very emotional PowerPoint showing the life of this person from age 0 to the time that they passed away. Yeah. So you not only give this tall speech Kabelondeni at your cousin's funeral, but you also put together the PowerPoint. Abantu bakale hui lwena dikele tsa teng wa la grand chapeau, you're the most theatrical. O rola mo fatshe nka go donate mo ga chocolate mara. Those theatrics after your cousin passes away, they strangely dissipate shortly after the funeral while everybody else is still pining, moping out here, literally bereaved, struggling to move on. Ooh, that is, still out here uploading your new holiday. Go wherever. Yeah, in Fiji. That's what's good on social media. So all of that emotion, just like that, you've moved on just like that. Also, all that much. And then you claim, no, everybody gotta move on, life goes on. Sorry. Abantu don't move on so quickly after abantu bashona. Kuna abantu that are still traumatized 2 years after umuntu ashona. They are still out latching onto the memory of them. Abakwazi nokulahla impahla zabo. They can't give their clothes away. They can't give their shoes away. They can't put down ithombe. Out here, a woman be getting pursued by men 3 years after her husband passes away, and she's still in proper going on dates, getting picked up at her apartment while her photo with her late husband is still there. Go lounge. Moto is the new guy. Very uncomfortable. People are like that. Yes, like they just move on. They move on. They bring down photos. They give clothes away. And then they say, no matter this, it's my way that I'm coping, that I'm dealing. But really, what's actually going on is that so what's the closer lounge? How about nanza dilaka the paraphernalia memorabilia ya motho mo bolailing? Go dropong, so why chase or why if to charity or whatever. But yeah, good try to move on. According to psychologists, this is how you do bereavement. You do everything in your power to concentrate on other stuff. Hey? Lomuntu yakwazi concentrate on other stuff. And he is out here moving on fast and furious above even the mom. Wonke umuntu confused. But the way that they contributed at the funeral, the way the way they were so theatrical, rolling around on the floor like a donut in some chocolate and some nuts. Yeah. The way they also were so close to the person who passed away, nobody ever suspects them of what they did, and what's actually really ridiculously trashy is nendaba yokuthi bayakwazi ukupitcha, guys. They can pitch, they can show up at the funeral of the people that the humans sacrificed. They pitch, they rock up, and then bayothidisa afterwards. Abenenhliziyo labantu ngasho the other day ukuthi dipilo tsabona ke menoto, and then this darkness in them is demonic.